Basket weaving is an art form like any other handcraft. It takes skill, technique, and creativity to make something beautiful. I like to think of it as art within a distinctive form. So like a painter would sign their painting, I want to encourage you to sign your baskets. In this video, I'm sharing why I think you should sign your baskets, what to use to sign it, and what information to include. I consider myself and other basket weavers as artists. I love utilitarian baskets, baskets that have a function that I can use around my home, but I also love freeform basketry and sculptural baskets. It's not something that I work in very often, but it's really enjoyable when I do. And even though that may typically be called the art form of basketry, I still think that weaving baskets that you can use throughout your day is still an art form. Therefore, I think that each of the baskets that we weave should receive our signature like a painter would sign their painting. It creates a legacy in our work for ourselves to look back, see our progress, see where we started and where we've come to, the progression of our work. And it also is fun to gift these baskets and have our name and the date we wove them. The type of pen that I use to sign my baskets is usually a micron pen like this one here. I like microns because they're waterproof and they don't bleed. So if you don't have a micron and you want to use some other pen, look for something that's a permanent marker. There's lots of options out there that has a fine tip that you can get your writing legibly on the basket and that doesn't bleed. So when you go to sign your basket, it's not going to bleed everywhere and cause the writing to be illegible. I am using a 0.5 size micron. My ideal is a 0.8 because it has a large enough tip that it gets onto the basket and gets into the grooves and everything, but still has a big enough line that you can actually see what you're writing. A 0.5 works fine too, it's just not quite as dense. I have two different types of baskets here I wanted to show you and talk about where to sign your baskets. This is a grid style basket where the bottom is woven so that pieces go perpendicular to each other. So I have stakes going in this direction and this direction perpendicular. On this basket, this is pretty easy to sign because you can come in and I like to sign the bottom. You can put your name and all that information on one of the stakes at the bottom of the basket. If you're working in ribbed basketry like this melon basket, then it can be a little tricky because typically the reed's smaller and there's not really a great distinct bottom to sign on this basket. So in this case, if the handle is wide enough, I'll sign the handle down at the bottom. If you don't have a wide enough handle and this handle is fairly narrow, you can come in and use multiple rows of the reed to sign. Alternatively, if this is going to be on display in some way, you can also come in and sign the inside of the basket as an alternative to still be able to leave your signature, but maybe not have it be quite as visible on the outside of the basket. As far as what you add to your basket, I like to add three things on my baskets. My first is your signature or your name. And you can either do this as your signature or just print it out if you prefer. Printing sometimes is a little bit easier, but if you take some time to practice on scraps, you will be able to get your signature onto the reed. Another thing that I like to include is the date. And the reason this is significant to me is because it's a great way to be able to see your progression as you weave baskets, whether you're going to do it often or not. It's still fun to be able to have the date on there and look back and have that memory of the time that you made a basket. I have baskets from when I first started weaving baskets when I was 10. I was taking lessons from a gal and she suggested that I sign my baskets. And so I did, and I still have some of those baskets with my little kid handwriting, and some of them have the date on them, some of them don't. And the last thing or third thing that I add to the bottom of my basket is the location where I wove the basket. Now, if you always weave baskets at home, this may not be something that is attractive to you because you know where you wove all your baskets. But let's say you went on vacation and you wove a basket on vacation, or while you were traveling, or at a specific event or season in life, or you went to a class with friends and you want to note down that you wove that basket in that specific class. Just as a way to remember the date you wove it and where you wove it can be kind of a fun thing to trigger those fond memories of when you wove your baskets. So I'm going to go in on this leather handled picnic basket and put my information on here. I'm going to sign it with my name, put in the date, And then the location where I wove this was my home studio, so I'm not going to add that for this basket. But it is still something that I add occasionally if it's relevant or if it has some special significance. The older I get and the more baskets I weave and the more digital our world becomes, the more I'm recognizing the value of slowing down and celebrating each thing that I create and taking the time to appreciate the process and the time that I took to put into something. Even if it's something as simple as a square napkin basket, I still value the ritual of signing my baskets, taking the time to put my name and the date on the bottom of the basket as kind of a simple practice of gratitude of the time and the resources and the support that I have that have allowed me to gain the skills to be able to weave baskets. So I'd love to invite you to join me in this small symbol of gratitude in the ritual of signing your baskets. If you want to learn more about basket weaving, check out this video and be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for joining me, and until next time, happy weaving. Bye.